Hi, new year, new project, and I am throwing myself headfirst into making a shirt. I found this fabric last year, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I don't know how it turns out on camera, but it is, I get dizzy looking at it for some reason, but I still love it. So I wanted to make a simple shirt, you know, oversized, loose, maybe so long that I can have like a belt on it. Not sure yet. Kind of depends if I have enough fabric for it, but you know, a loose, flowy, large shirt. So I went to the foldline.com and browsed their patterns. And then I found the effigy shirt by Coralie Bijasson. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'll put in a picture here. And as you can see, it is not only the type of shirt that I had in mind, it is also made in a blue and white striped fabric. So felt like it was meant to be. So I bought the pattern, downloaded it, did my due diligence and printed a page with the square, this one, that you need to measure to make sure that it is in fact 5 centimeters both ways. And it turns out it is not. It is 4.7. So it's 3 millimeters off. Now that may not sound like a lot, but if you are a large person like me and you need one of the larger sizes, that's going to make a difference. And just to make sure, I also printed the version with the inches, 2 inches measurement. Also is not correct. So I have sent an email to the fold line and told them this. I also told them, because I believe in the description it is stated that you can choose layers so that you can only need to print your size. And there are no layers available on that pattern. Does not exist. So doesn't seem to be too good of a pattern. And I've emailed the fold line and informed them about this. And I've also said that even though it is a digital pattern, I am requesting my money back for it, because you know, when the measurements are off like that, that's not good. I should not have to pay for that. So I went back hunting for a different pattern, and this time I found Carry, as in carrying, by Fiber Mood. And I'll show you, add in a picture here of that. That's what that looks like. Same basic thing, really. I'll show you the line drawings. Can you see those? Yeah. So there's one version with pleated sleeves. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the one with the regular sleeves instead. And I realized that I have actually made one of their patterns before, Fiber Moods. It was actually one of the first things, it was the first thing I think that I sewed on this channel last year. It was this yellow and white striped dress. I'll show you another picture here. So I have actually worked with their patterns before. And as I remember, it was absolutely fine. Didn't have any big issues with that. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to cough. Oh, sorry about that. I think I'd swallowed. Weird. Anyhow, I got their pattern and I have been printing it. And as per usual, it's a lot of pages that I'm now going to be taping together according to this schematic, cutting out all the pieces and so on and so forth. But because I like you guys, I'm going to spare you that viewing experience. I'm just going to, because here's the thing, each I have to like tape the whole thing together, and it is 45 pages. No, actually it's 41 pages because the first three pages are like this general information. So I have to tape together 43 A4 pattern pages before I can start cutting out things. So that's gonna be a hassle, but that's the way it is with PDF patterns. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'll probably be doing that most of the evening. Yeah, I probably will. I think that is going to be what I'm doing tonight, even though today is New Year's Day and day after tomorrow this video is due. So we will see if I can make it in time. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna try. But the thing is, I have never ever sewn a shirt like this before. Well, actually that's sort of a lie, because I did make a shirt like that once, but it was this big. It was for a doll or a teddy bear or something for one of the kids when they were young, and you know, so it's like, I don't know, 15 years ago. And I don't know, maybe this is easier because it's not as small as that was, but yeah, I am expecting to have to do some YouTube consulting, to take my time, to do some finagling, to make friends with all the markings on a pattern. But because I'm not gonna lie, when I use a pattern, there are times when I'm just ignoring notches and things like that, and you can't really do that for a pattern like this. So it's a learning curve, and I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna learn how to do this properly. I'm also going to learn properly how to do buttonholes on my machine, because I've sort of been winging it earlier. I even have this thing you add on, or this special foot or whatever it is. There's some thingamabob in my sewing machine that is intended for making buttonholes. I think it is a whole foot, actually, come to think of it. I've never used that thing, ever. So I'm gonna attempt to do that, and hopefully make a shirt, and be done by Friday afternoon. So yay, I better get to taping the pattern. I'll be right back. Well, to you, I'll be right back. Yeah. This hairstyle? Yeah. Since it is the middle of the winter, and I have been thinking about growing my hair again. I usually had really long hair. I cut it short about 1.5 years ago, something like that, almost 2 years. I decided that growing my hair would be a good thing to do in the winter, because you can wear hats a lot. So I have a lot of hats. I really don't need any more, but I saw the Musselburgh hat and I just had to get on that. So I think I showed you this in the 3-in-1 sweater video that I made. I made this hat because, you know, these hide a lot of sins. But working with this project, and it's light blue stripy, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make another one, because I really love this. I totally understand why this has become all the rage, this hat, because it is amazing. But I decided to cast on another one, and I have in this yarn. How do you like that? Isn't that gorgeous? This is, it actually, I didn't realize that it would, but it's actually striping a little. Can you see that? So I guess it goes with the theme of this week. The yarn is Chromatic Yarns Sparkle Sock in the colorway Aura of Vitality. She posted this in a web shop a long time ago, and I got first one skein and then I got another one because I just absolutely fell in love with this colorway. And I mean, look at it. How good is that? Absolutely amazing. So I decided I am going to make a Musselburgh hat to use during the winter while I'm saving my hair out, growing my hair out. And, well, turns out it's stripes. So it matches my stripy shirt. It's not the same color, but I don't care. I don't care. So, yeah, I gotta get back to this. Ciao! Well, that was a wee bit more of a break than I had planned for. To you, it's still just a moment ago. To me, it's been like 6 days. I got sick, sort of, you know, when you've been working really hard and you've been stressing a lot and all of that, and then you take some time off and you get sick. Always happens. And that's what sort of happened to me. I had this cold, but more than that, I was just so exhausted, and I just kind of felt, you know, like you do when you've been sick for a really long time and you're just completely exhausted. That's where I've been. But I'm more or less back on my feet. The cold has, well, it's slightly better now. Not quite gone, but it's getting there. So let me update you first of all on the pattern situation. Like I said, I did get the effigy. I think that's the way to pronounce it. Apologies if it's not. The effigy pattern. And I couldn't print layers, and the sizing was off and all that, and I had emailed the Fold line about it. And they sent me a print screen picture of what the pattern, of a specific page of the pattern where you could see that all the layers were there. So I did the same thing. I did a print screen of the exact same page that they had done and sent back to them and told them that, yeah, no, as you can see, there are no layers on my pattern at all. So what ended up happening is that they sent me that file via email, and that file did have the layers, and I could also print that to the correct size. But now I have committed to the other pattern, the what's the name? Do I have the name here? Carrie by Fiber Moon. So I'm going to stick with that one. And I have taped all the pages together as such. And I realized while doing it that this part is the sleeve with the, the folds up here, which I'm not going to use. But I have decided that I was going to tape that too and cut that out as well, just to keep for the future in case I want to make that shirt in the future. So for now I have taped all the pieces together, and I've kind of separated them, but I haven't cut the lines exactly. So what I'm going to do next now is, I'm sorry, I know I look really flushed because I've had some really bad breakouts as well, and the air is really dry this time of year, so that's why I look like I'm sort of flushed, because I keep having to moisturize. Anyhow, I need to see if I can find my fantastic sketch that I made last year with all my measurements. You remember that one? And I'm going to check the measurements. Maybe I'll do some new measurements because, Christmas and New Year, so we've also had a birthday here, so there's been a lot of food, so I may have to correct that, those measurements anyway. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to compare it to the measurements in the pattern, and also compare it to the measurements in the finished object as it is stated in the instructions. So that's what's happening next, and hopefully I won't have to adjust too much, because it is quite a loose fitted shirt. Well, I'm hoping it will be. things that are supposed to be loosely fitted aren't always that when you're my size, I've come to realize. But I'm hoping for that. So I'm going to check those measurements and see where we're at. This project is a struggle. I am not gonna lie. It is a struggle for sure. I don't know, first a pattern that didn't work, and then I shifted to a different pattern, and I've been cutting all the pieces, and I had some interfacing that I was going to use for the pieces that required that, which turned out to be, I don't know what that was. It just melted and disappeared. It was not what I thought it was. I think it was a kind of interfacing where you're supposed to have fabric on both sides and then iron. Because when the iron came even close to the pieces that I needed to have interfacing on, it just melted like cotton candy. The more you learn, the more you learn. So I had to get something else, and I moved it. Using the same type of interfacing that I'm using for my project bags, which is really too heavy. It gets kind of stiff, but it's what I got. So I'm gonna run with it. And now I'm at least at the point where I can start sewing. So I've got the front, one of the fronts, I got the other one here, and I'm ready to start adding the pockets and stitching the front edge. Now there's really only supposed to be one pocket on this shirt, but I accidentally cut out two because, you know, and so I figured I'll just make two pockets then. You know, I already cut it, so why not? So that's what I'm going to do now, and I think this is going to be quite a nice project actually, if I can look at it without getting completely blind. I still have some issues with these very tiny stripes that kind of place with my eyes somehow. So, coming up, some sewing. Here's something new that I haven't done before, actually I never even heard of, is making reinforcement triangles at the corner of your pocket. There's the pocket. And you make reinforcement triangles in the corner of each side of the opening to reinforce, which is quite clever when you think about it. So I learned something new today. That is the pockets and the button plackets done, aside from the buttonholes. Here's the other one. We have the pocket and the button plaques. Now we're setting this aside. Oh, I just ironed it, it's already wrinkled. Oh well, oh sorry, I hit the microphone. Next up, we are going to, let's see, make the pleats at the top of the back here, and then we are attaching the yoke pieces to that. Let's see if we can figure out how to do this. First of all, let's find the back piece. That would be this one, I believe. This whole bundle of joy. Let's see now. And there are, okay, let's figure this out first. Here's the top of the back. And we have got notches here. Ouch. And we have got one there. On the other side. Sorry, I'm realizing this paper is probably very loud. Okay, let's see, I can see one there. And there is one there. All right. So far so good. And how are we folding this again? Make the pleats at the top of the back by matching all the notches. Okay, so we're doing this, I guess. Seems that is the correct one, and we will flip this one like so. Okay, pleats are pinned. Let's grab our the yoke pieces and make sure they will fit onto here now. Oh, where are you? Way back. There we go. Here are the yoke pieces. Let's just double check that it is the same length. And it is! Ladies and gentlemen, woohoo! We are doing this right. Let's keep that here because that's coming up next. So first of all, we're going to secure the pleats. And we are sandwiching back between the two yoke pieces. Pinning them one at a time. I find it easier to keep them in place. I'm starting to get really hungry, so I think I'm gonna have to take a break and go make some burgers soon. friends, it is Friday and the video is supposed to be live in 30 minutes. I'm nowhere close to making that. Just this entire week has been a struggle. I had one really good day and then the rest of it has been really much of a struggle. My hair is crazy as usual. Now growing out your hair is pain. If my eye looks weird, I popped a blood vessel, I think, so I'm all red on this side. It doesn't hurt or anything. I just freaked me out completely last night when I took a look in the mirror, brushing my teeth. I was going to bed and what's that? Yeah. Haven't had that before, at least not this big. So, anyway, excuse me. Front and back are attached. Oh, inside. There we go. Back, front, and I am trying to get the collar on. Now I've been struggling. I pinned this collar, I think, at least 4 times last night, and I couldn't figure it out. It didn't make sense because you were supposed to. There's double collar stands, 2 collar stands. So there will one on the inside. One on the inside and this one on the outside. There we go, that one on the outside. But as you can see, when I fold this down, it's not going to cover after stitching the other one. And this just threw me for a total loop. I just couldn't figure it out. What am I supposed to do here? And I had to dig up a video, which was not easy. I'll try to remember to link that below in case you needed to. But it wasn't until I watched that video that I realized that I had pinned it correct the whole time, which is like this, because after I have stitched this seam, I'm supposed to iron it and fold this edge inwards. And when I do that, it will be covered by that. I was just too tired yesterday, I think. It was a chaotic day and all that's all I can say. So I'm going to stitch this in place now and iron the edge, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will work. If not, I'm gonna need another shirt. I'm gonna need one that says less Friday, more coffee. Because, yeah. So let's try this and see if I can pull it off. I think I'm gonna need that new shirt. Things were going well. I have attached the collar to the shirt now. The under thread, I have this much left, so that's a win. Never played that kind of yarn chicken before. I have done notches in this edge that I just stitched. I ironed it back and I was starting to pin down the collar as such. Then I saw it. Let's see if I can show you this. I'm telling you, this shirt is a learning process for sure. Now I need to figure out a way to move this seam. Luckily I didn't stitch this into place just yet, so I still have time to fix that. But yeah. The thing is, I couldn't see it on the inside. I've got all the layers here, and yet obviously I don't. All the layers are here. In the seam. And still there's one missing here. Oh well. I'm learning, and I will for sure be making more shirts in the future. It just might be a while until I do the next one. Oh well, let's fix this issue and then we'll carry on. All right, progress has been made. The collar is now on. Never mind this, I've been scratching it because I was pinning. Collar is on. If you don't look too closely, it's actually looks decent, I think. However, when I stitched this seam, I've never stitched anything as slowly ever, and it is quite wobbly. But again, you're not gonna see it unless you're up close. So, sort of happy with that side. The other side, however, thankfully this is on the inside, so it's not going to show. I managed to get the seaming below. Can you see that? And it is worst, I think, is this side. Yeah. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Seam is way below. But I don't care. I'm gonna leave it. It's on the inside. I'm learning, and Lord knows I've learned a lot on this one, so I'm just going to take the win and move on to the next point on my schedule, which is actually not sewing. I'm gonna go make peanut butter. Mama needs some peanut butter now. Oh boy. Alrighty, I have got some peanut butter in my system. Feeling a bit energized again. Now, let's see, what is next up? We are done with the collar. Next up is, sleeve bindings. And there's another, there's a lot of pages. Sleeve binding. It's a lot of pages on sleeve binding here. And then sleeve placket. All right, well, let's get on it. We have got a scary part coming up now. I have attached the, let's see here, the sleeve binding and what's the other thing called? The placket? Sleeve placket? Well, anyway, I have stitched them, both of those, to the bottom of the sleeve, both of them. And now we are going to cut. And I don't know why, but this is freaking me out a bit. So I'm going to cut in between. I have one seam here and one seam there. And I'm going to cut in between here. So, question is, let's see, how far do I cut? I'm going to stop a little bit before each end. I'm going to have to stop down here then, I guess. Okay, let's try this. Oh, my light went out. I need to charge it. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing anyway. Here goes nothing. That's tricky. I wonder if this tiny scissor can be of help here. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, and I have to stop a little bit before I reach this corner, and I'm going to cut at an angle. Ooh, this was finagly. Like so. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a tiny triangle here. All right, did that, survived. Let's try the other one. I've been thinking about getting these scissors, having them in my web shop. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Okay, and then the triangle thing. Okay. All right, so far so good. Next, I think we are going to turn the sleeve binding over and start stitching it in place. Okay, let's see if we can do that. This is not a fast process, that's for sure, but I have now been working on the sleeves, and I have got the, what's it called? Sleeve plackets and sleeve binding has been attached, so on both sleeves. Not perfect, but not too bad. So we're getting there. I think what I'm learning here is that it is important to just take your time with this, because this is a very involved project, especially for me as a beginner. I've never made a shirt like this before, aside from that teeny tiny shirt I made for Teddy Bear a million years ago, which was definitely less finagly than this was, because the collar and this sleeve thingy, that was finagly. But I'm thinking maybe it should be slightly easier from now on, because next up I'm going to do the cuff on the sleeves, and then I think I'll be ready to start adding the sleeve. Yes, I am. Well, I have some pleats, notches and thing at the bottom of the sleeve that I need to do, but then I can attach it to the rest of the shirt. So, carry on! We are starting to really get somewhere now. I have attached the sleeves to the body. So, that's a lot of, I even did it the right way. Right sleeve on the right side and everything. So, we now have, I don't know, we have a tent. We have a tent is what we have. There we go. There is a sleeve attached. So, coming up, I'm going to do the side seams, the sleeves and the sides, and after that I can actually try it on, and we will also not be too far from finished. Very excited about that because, you know, very time consuming project, very brain consuming project as well. Also, when I sat in the sleeves, that was the first time in this project that I was asked to use the overlocker, the serger. You do that for the sleeves and excuse me, for the side seams. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to hurry because it's starting to get quite late now, and I don't want to disturb my neighbors. Still trying to get used to this whole thing about living in an apartment. So I'm going to do the side seams and the overlocking real quick now, and then once that is done I can try it on. Yay! And I have to attach the cuffs and the buttons, the buttonholes. I'm really nervous about that one, so fingers crossed. But yeah, stitching up the side seams so that I can try it on at least. Very exciting. You have got to be kidding me. I stitched one side. I haven't overlocked it, I've just stitched it. And I went to double check that my sleeve was on the right way, because I was absolutely sure I had put it in the right way. And I hadn't. This placket is supposed to be towards the back, and this is the front. I can't even. So now I have to rip out the entire side seam that I thankfully didn't overlock yet. And then I have to take out both sleeves that I had overlocked. Which means I'm going to have to cut off some of the fabric. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it off. And thankfully it's an oversized shirt, so it should be fine. And redo the sleeves. This video is probably going to be live at Easter sometime. Ah! Well, I'm learning. Okay, the shirt is technically done now. I cut off the sleeves, I have set them back in the right way. I have done the side seams. I have done the cuffs. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I've hemmed the bottom. So this is where we're at now. I don't know if you can see that. Very close to done. Except for one thing. Well, two things technically. But the worst part is the buttonholes. I've been dreading this the whole time. Now I'm going to make it using this foot from a sewing machine, which I have never used before. It's a completely new thing. I've always just done free-handed the buttonholes before, so this is a new experience. And I'm nervous. I am nervous. So I'm going to get a piece of fabric and I'm going to try a few times first to see that I get the hang of it. I did look it up on YouTube, found a few videos on how to do it. It didn't seem very difficult at all, so I might be pleasantly surprised. Let's hope I am. Yeah, so I'm gonna try first and see that I can actually figure out how to make the buttonholes. And once I've got that done, all I need to do is to sew in the buttons. So we're really close to being done now. So fingers crossed that the buttonholes goes well. If they do, I'll be done in no time. Well, maybe not. There's a lot of buttons to sew in, but soon. Yay! adventure continues. I am starting to make buttonholes. It's going so. First of all, my tailor's, what do you call it, crayon, does not show up on this fabric. It's really old as well. I need to get some new ones. So I took a pencil. Can you see that? I used a pencil, and then I realized that, hey, maybe not the best idea. So now I gotta figure out how to get those stains out afterwards, but oh well. I'll figure that out later. Anyhow, first buttonhole, sort of okay. Second buttonhole, complete disaster. Made this one like 3 times. It's like a tank back here. Fourth one, slightly better. Not quite where it's supposed to be. Number 5, number 6. Now we're getting somewhere. So what I figured out is that I need to, I don't know if it's the lining, the heavier lining it doesn't like, or what it's all about. But I need to, when it's sewing backwards, I need to, sewing towards me. Yeah, one or the other direction. Brain is fried. Anyway, one of the directions, I need to hold the fabric and just tug it ever so slightly, or it gets stuck. And it's only, well, it's backwards. Yeah, when it's only when it's going backwards. I have no idea why. I have no idea why it does that. But once I figured that out, it has been going better. So I'm gonna continue with the rest of the buttonholes, and hopefully there will be a video before it's Easter. Okay guys, we're out on the balcony again. Hopefully it is not too loud outside. It's Sunday, so it should be a little bit quieter than usually. Still some traffic though. Here it is. Well, let's start with this one. Can you see it? My new Musselburgh. Granted, it's not the same blue color as the shirt, but it still felt appropriate. Sort of striping. Love it. I'm gonna be wearing that a lot while growing my hair. At least as long as it's cold enough for that. And here is the shirt. Oh, you know what? Let me change the camera angle so you can see it properly. That should do it. There we go. I actually ended up doing the 2XL size straight off as stated in the pattern, because when I checked my measurements, I found that I had more than enough ease just using that, and I do. Might be because it's an American patterns. They usually run a lot larger in size. I think it's an American pattern anyway. But American sizes are in general a lot larger than European. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I did end up making 2 pockets instead of just the one in the pattern, since I accidentally cut out 2. I haven't cleaned the button. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Well, here, I think you can see it. The markings, I haven't done that yet, and it does need a good wash and ironing. but I just wanted to show you the finished object first. And I have for sure learned a lot making this. Oh, I just realized I actually matched it to my socks as well. I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. I've learned a lot. It is not perfect in any way. I have made a lot of mistakes, but not something that is too obvious, I think. If you just see me, you have to kind of come up close. You'll probably see that I messed up here and there, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a learning process, and I'm a lot better of a sewist now than I was just 2 weeks ago. So, yay! That's a win. Actually, quite pleased with the cuffs as well. You see that? And there's like this detail in the back. You see it? I am very chuffed about how this turned out, and I'm going to be getting a lot of wear out of it. And if I do lose weight this year, it's fine. There's a lot of fabric in this, so I should be able to just scale it down and make a smaller shirt if need be. But until then, I am going to be living in this, I think, especially this spring and summer. Yay! Very happy, very, very happy. Color turned out that great. Well, actually, the lining I used is too stiff, and you can kind of tell here. But I think that a good wash and ironing will help a lot with that. So yeah. Oh, I actually got blue nail polish as well. Didn't realize. There's a theme going on here. Should have put on some makeup as well, but didn't quite have time for that because the sun is setting and it will soon be dark. So I just had to hurry up and film this. But yay, it is finally done. The video will soon be done. Finally, I'm sorry you guys had to wait. It was not my intention at all. They're plowing the roads here, so I had to pause for a second. You can probably hear it in the background still. Anyway, just wanted to say that I'm really happy with this project. I'm happy with all the things that I have learned. I look forward to making more shirts later this year. And hopefully it's not going to take me 2 weeks to do that. Fingers crossed. At least I have a lot more knowledge now, so yay. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.